it's scarf season. Hello muggles, my name is Ashley Stormo and welcome to my channel. So, like the rest of my fellow millennials, I spent the bookend of October binge watching the chilling adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, and personally I adored it. My hatred of episode 5 was equivalent to my hatred of Stranger Things episode 8. But other than that, I loved the series. If you didn't like it, that is a-okay. I've seen some recurring criticisms of it. I'm just gonna word vomit, you know, reasons that I really did enjoy it, because I feel like it, because I love the show and I want to talk about it. I am an aspiring writer, author, screenwriter, and filmmaker, and I love shows. So if you want to see my reactions to things that I watch in real time, you can follow my Instagram and I will post reactions on my stories, and I'll follow you back if you're on BookTube or MovieTube or whatever, one of those things. Shameless plug. The first things that I loved about this series were the aunties, especially Auntie Z. I know Hilda is like the sweet little like ball of love, but I really enjoyed Auntie Z for whatever reason. Probably because she has like a little bit of a few negative characteristics to her, but I really was rooting for her to be a bigger person, be a good person, and most of the time she did show her compassion for Sabrina even when you weren't sure that she would, so that just made me love her character. Which I think ties back to something they said in the beginning of the series, is that they're not bad or evil people, they're just witches. So I think it's really important to show compassion even through a stoic character. I also really like the conflict that the show introduces. Specifically the fact that it can be philosophical. So there's a lot of questioning of religion and being true to yourself, which are a lot of, you know, it's a magical, unrealistic world, but those are things that you can, you know, relate back to your own life. Like, do you just accept what other people think, or do you do some own digging and come to a moral standpoint where yours might differ from others, and you just stay true to yourself even though your opinion differs from people who you love and respect. So I really liked some of the more philosophical aspects that it has. Fashion. I loved the cinematography. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm biased, but it has a very Pacific Northwest feel. I really enjoy that there's, you know, no storylines rely on like cell phones or social media, which is really prevalent in like so many shows nowadays. So I like that it feels very timeless. This show also felt very nostalgic for me. I read the Archie comics when I was growing up, and they had the Sabrina witch comics in there, and those are wildly different from the chilling adventures of Sabrina, but it had the same characters and the same names, so I still felt nostalgic about it, like, and it was interesting to see their different spins on some of the characters. I have my wand, but you know, Sabrina didn't need a wand. That's old school, I guess. You really can't see my bun. Another thing I loved about this series was the weird sisters. My least favorite trope of all time is girls hating girls, mean girl tropes. That's so tired and bored and lazy writing. So they were mean, but I liked that even though they were mean, Sabrina still helped Prudence and, you know, didn't want any real harm to come to her, even though it's not a perfect friendship by any means, that they still kind of stuck up for each other. I think that's really important, and we need less, you know, women tearing down other women in our media. I expect more from my media consumption and TV and film consumption, so they did good on that. Also, I really liked Harvey and Sabrina. They were adorable. Lastly, I mean, I just liked that it had an October vibe, you know what I mean? Like, I believe last year Netflix came out with Stranger Things, so it was good that we had another series that was binge-worthy to fill that void. But yeah, that's all I have for you about that. Thought it was adorable. I loved it. Tell me downstairs if you liked this rendition of Sabrina, and tell me if you hated it. I'd love to hear both reasons, just downstairs. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. It's beginning to feel a lot like winter.